Welcome to Under the Rock. I'm Emily Pensick.
And I'm Shaina Ahmed. Today we have a special episode in light of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting.
We have two stories today involving the important issues that surround gun violence and school shootings.
Let's watch Emily's story about Miss Bacolas and her product that can save lives during a shooting.
On February 14, 2018, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz walked into Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, and killed 17 people with an AR-15. The victims and the survivors of this fatal shooting have since become activists and speaking about gun control, and many people across the country have been applauding them for their efforts because it's such a controversial topic. What many people don't know is that Glen Rock's very own Miss Bacolas was also a witness to a fatal school shooting. She was a senior during the 2007 massacre at Virginia Tech and hopes that no one else has to go through a process like this again. She's taken such a poor experience and turned it into a learning and entrepreneurship opportunity, and many students feel that they can look up to her as a great role model because of that.
I would love to say that I'm striving to be a role model. I would also, definitely put out there that I'm not perfect. Everyone, certainly makes mistakes and has room for improvement, but I certainly encourage everyone here to do their best every single day and to not let up. And so yes, I would love to be a role model for the community. I think that some of my success as a woman and a young leader is that I've pursued everything relentlessly in my life and not given up at all. So I've been through some very difficult times in my life. I had a very tragic incident in college. My background at Virginia Tech, if you look up my grad year, you'll figure this out, but I was a student there during the massacre of 2007. So I had a very, unhappy ending to my college experience, and for a while I was quite bitter about it, and I felt very cheated and like I got robbed of my graduation. I never walked in a graduation until one day I said, you know what, I'm very fortunate to be here, to be alive. And when I started teaching and they had us do these active shooter simulations, I said, this is terrible, and I'm gonna have to relive this whole experience every time we do one of these. And it sort of inspired me to make the process a little bit better, and I did create a whole business selling a patented product that hangs over the little window in classroom doors and covers it during active shooter situations, because I was so adamant about making the process better. And I think I had a lot of support along the way from school, colleagues and things like that. And it's the same kind of support I get here as a new member of the team here.
Ms. Bacolas did a really good job with taking her experiences and turning it into a business, because generally when something happens, a tragedy like that, you feel like you want to do something, but a lot of the times people don't know what to do. I think she'd be a pretty good role model for a situation like this, because she took something bad that happened and turned it into a very good situation. Like, she's trying to help people so that if their school ever gets shot up, to minimize the amount of injuries or deaths. So yeah, I think that would make her a pretty good role model.
Wow, that was amazing. I think we can agree that Miss Bacolas is a fantastic role model.
Thank you. It was really great to sit down with her to get to know more about our administration. I'm definitely inspired by how she's able to help others after such a horrific event. Our next story is about the recent walkout by Shaina Ahmed and Ashley Robinson. Can you tell us a little bit more about your segment?
Sure. Ashley and I did a segment on the purpose of the recent national walkout for gun violence and what it hopes to achieve. Let's take a look.
On February 14, 2018, a gunman walked into Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, and killed 17 students. Since then, the issue of gun violence has been dominating the news, and students all over the country have been speaking out on the topic.
This time will be different because the people who were deeply affected by the shooting, the people who saw it, are the people speaking out.
The students of Parkland organized a nationwide peaceful protest, which will take place 1 month after the tragic event. Students who wish to participate will walk out of their classrooms for 17 minutes in solidarity for the lives lost in Parkland. We talked to the organizers of Glen Rock's walkout to learn more about the execution of the event and what students hope to achieve.
I think that it's just, we're going to walk out around 9:55 to be on the football field at about 10 o'clock, and there's going to be a few speakers. And then there was a thing with balloons, right?
Mm-hmm. So this is an idea credit to Matt Shields. We're going to take 17 white balloons. We're going to put each of the victims' names from the Parkland school shooting on the white balloon, on one white balloon. Like, we're gonna do one per victim, and then we're gonna release them one at a time while announcing each victim's name. And another thing, the walkout's going to be 17 minutes long to honor the victims and their memories. And while this is definitely it's definitely the walkout, we're trying to honor the victims. We're also we're students demanding change, and we want the walkout to achieve legislative change, where people can't get guns, like powerful assault rifles or powerful weapons that could hurt and have hurt students across the country. My dad showed me this video, and it was a commercial, and it was a commercial for a vault it's a compactable vault that you put in classrooms, and when you hear the first signs of a school shooter, you open up the vault, and the teachers and the students go in, and you lock it from the inside, and you don't go out until the law enforcement has cleared the scene. And that was just really appalling to me, because we live in a country where people think the best solution is to build a stronger door, not take away the weapon that's knocking the door down. So I think that the walkout's gonna prove that we want change, as the students are demanding change.
And it's not even something that's like an anti-gun kind of thing. It's really just us wanting something to happen to make sure that people with guns can't get into buildings, and that people who shouldn't have guns don't have them.
An ongoing analysis by the Washington Post has found that over 150,000 students have experienced a school shooting on campus since the 1999 massacre at Columbine High School. The regularity of these mass shootings can bring on a feeling of uneasiness. Because of this, and to honor the 17 lives lost, many GRHS students are planning on participating in the walkout.
Yeah, I will be participating in the walkout.
This is an issue that affects all students. Feeling safe in the school is pretty important.
I believe that we need to do something about school shootings, because they've been rising in number for a very long time.
But whenever another school shooting occurs, it makes me realize that things like that could happen to me, and that's scary. It's really inspiring to see kids from everywhere doing something about this, whether it be walking out, marching, writing petitions, everything. People say that the walkout won't do anything, but every effort counts, and it's just the beginning that'll lead to something more. I hope that we're going to be able to see change soon, because the students from Parkland have been speaking out and calling out the government for taking NRA money instead of actually looking out for their voters, and I think that that's the first step in the change.
Yeah, I hope we'll be able to see change. Parkland has caused, or at least the students of Parkland have spoken out about gun violence and being able to do something about it, and I hope that they could bring on a change that can affect the way people are seeing this problem. This is an epidemic, and there should be something done about it.
The walkout will take place on Wednesday, but it certainly will not mark the end of the efforts to make schools and any public places safer. We can be sure that students from Glen Rock High School and all over the country will continue to fight for what they think is right.
Nice job, Shine and Ashley. I love the way our school was able to come together for such an important cause and remember the lives that were lost that day.
Thank you. That's our show for today.
We hope to see you next time on
Under the Rock.